Jean-Pierre Jouyet is the French Minister for European Affairs. He's currently preparing for when France takes over the EU's rotating presidency on the 1st of July. It's a crucial time for the French and the EU, as it will be France that guides the Union through the ratification process of the Treaty of Lisbon. There are a number of difficult and important issues on the agenda, including agriculture, trade, immigration and Turkey. Minister, welcome to EuroNews. What do you feel are the priorities of the French presidency in terms of European policy? And do you feel the Treaty of Lisbon will be ratified?
Hello. Firstly, thank you for inviting me onto EuroNews. It's an important European channel. What we would like is to get Europe into a position to be able to answer the challenges which are common to all 27 member states, improving the environment, energy security and an immigration policy, which takes into account that Europe has an immigration deficit, while also ensuring better border controls.
L'Europe a encore besoin d'immigration compte tenu de son déficit démographique, tout en
We know that there is a crunch referendum in Ireland in June, and we have every confidence in the Irish leaders and the Irish people.
Nous avons toute confiance dans les dirigeants irlandais, dans la sagesse du peuple irlandais, auquel l'Europe a beaucoup apporté.
Is there a plan B?
There is no plan B. If the Irish vote no, we go back to the point of departure. I mean, we have a sound base that allows us to govern Europe effectively.
Qui nous permettent de gouverner une Europe efficacement à 27.
So the agenda you're talking about requires a Europe with a treaty that allows it to function smoothly. What about the common agricultural policy? Do you intend to revolutionize or reform it?
De révolutionner ou peut-être de réformer la politique agricole commune.
I believe it is our ambition to modernise it. We feel the common agricultural policy is essential for the future of Europe and to address the imbalances between supply and demand. We will let the market take its course, but we will ensure the essentials are protected.
Nous le ferons et nous ne garderons les aides ou les subventions que là où cela sera nécessaire.
And what are the community preferences?
We'd prefer to talk about new preferences. What we want is an equal playing field for European products compared to products in the United States or products from Australia and New Zealand.
Par rapport aux produits américains ou aux produits néo-zélandais ou australiens. Voilà.
Is there a willingness to unblock Doha? You spoke of poor countries, but there are emerging economies everywhere.
Yes, you are right. There is a willingness to unblock Doha. For the moment, we have a balanced agreement. We cannot move on Doha if we only talk about agriculture. This is a fear of the Irish. It is not possible to have an agreement that just talks about sacrifice in terms of agriculture. And from this point of view, France and Ireland hold the same opinions.
You already have relationships with emerging nations and less developed countries. What do you feel about the Mediterranean Union?
Myself, I welcome this new agreement. It is important that all 27 states agree to it. We will do absolutely nothing in the south or the east that divides Europe. However, what happens in the east or Central Asia or south of the Mediterranean is also important for European stability. Therefore, we must have the policies for enhanced cooperation with countries east of the Mediterranean. Geopolitically, it is very important, as you know. We also have a neighbourhood policy that's proving effective in the east.
Tout à fait efficace avec les pays orientaux.
Do you think the issue of immigration is fundamental for the Mediterranean and especially the Mediterranean countries? Do you think it has caused tensions in the EU between the North and the South as a result?
Je dirais pas des conflits, mais des contrastes au sein même de l'Union européenne entre le Nord et le Sud. à cause de ça.
It's
true that immigration is an important issue for the Mediterranean, but these days the Maghreb countries are seeing African immigrants crossing their land to get to Tangier or Gibraltar. But there are other problems connected to immigration.
In your opinion, do we need a supranational Europe or an intergovernmental one?
We have to find the balance between European integration and cooperation between governments. We must preserve the diversity of Europe, while at the same time forge a European identity. Europe thrives on its differences. We cannot be too dogmatic. Therefore, I believe the Treaty of Lisbon strikes an excellent balance.
Yet many of the challenges spoken about here need to be taken at a community level and less so at national or regional levels.
No, but the community method is a good method. It has proved its worth, and we must continue to strengthen it. The fact that in the Treaty of Lisbon you have enlargement decisions taken by qualified majority voting develops community spirit. The general rule is anything that is economic and social reinforces that spirit. But in areas of sovereignty, which is related to defence or foreign policy, then one must take care. It could mean peace or war. Then you have to take into account the sensitivities of individual governments.
Faire attention lorsque le sort de la paix ou de la guerre se décide à ce que sont la sensibilité des gouvernements.
What about Turkey? Will they have problems during the French presidency from the point of view of EU entry negotiations?
No, absolutely not. You know France's position, but France will assume its duty as EU president. As it relates to Turkey, it will be objective, impartial, fair and balanced.
Équitable et équilibré.
And yet the Turks fear the French presidency because of the negative statements about their membership coming from Paris and Berlin.
De France, en ce qui concerne la Turquie, et non seulement de la France, mais aussi de l'Allemagne, ne sont pas vraiment positifs.
I have just returned from Ankara and I think I have made the role of the French presidency clear, and I have reassured our Turkish friends and colleagues.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you.